witness came out and made a statement in the Karmelo Anthony case, and I have to let y'all hear this because this is the piece I have been missing, that I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the witnesses, for the students around the situation to see what happened, and this is what he had to say.
My name is Tyrone Biggins. Sometimes the endless pursuit of crack leaves me tired and depleted. But now cocaine comes in a delicious shape. Red balls. It gives me way.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite part-time YouTuber Crow, and I have a bit of an update to do on my video yesterday regarding Karmelo Anthony, because we've had this update and it's really stupid, but I feel like I have to address it because one of the things I brought up in my video were all of the lies and false stories and fake social media posts and fake autopsy reports and fake statements from the chief of police. All of these fake things that the side the people on Karmelo Anthony's side have been putting out. Well, now we have an eyewitness who's come out of nowhere and is refuting everything, right? And this guy is apparently like more believable than Jesus, right? Like he has more integrity than the Lord himself. He's the most trustworthy individual involved here because he's repeating the lies that they have been telling themselves. So I will play his statements, and maybe you're wondering why I showed the clip of Tyrone Biggins before we started this video. He sounds like he was on something and he is either off of it and really needs it, or he's on a downer and he is really down. But before I play his statement, I wanted to remind everybody, because I didn't show you this in my video yesterday. I did have a link to the thread, but this is a list of names here that have been blacked out. These are the names of the witnesses, all saw the stabbing and all gave the same report to police. And I'll count down the names here, but I want to be very clear. This list here shows that you have students from different schools. So you can't argue that these were all Austin's friends and he convinced like 30 people to lie for him, right? These are students from different schools who did not know either individual involved and just witness what happened. But we have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4.
A few moments later.
5, 26, 27, 28. We have 28 eyewitnesses who gave the same story to the police at the time Karmelo Anthony was arrested. Now, in spite of that, days later, a witness has come out and is claiming that these all 28 of these kids are lying. And actually what happened was Austin Metcalf and his twin brother had jumped Karmelo Anthony, and they were delivering a beatdown. Now, I'm not going to go into this far into it, but if you go through these statements that Karmelo makes to the police when he is arrested, because they weren't even asking, like these are things that Karmelo told them himself. He literally says, he put his hands on me, I told him not to. Not, these two guys were beating the crap out of me, I was being jumped, I was being attacked. Like his whole story is only referring to Austin when he's talking to the police. But somewhere, somehow, these idiots have come up with a narrative that actually it was a beatdown by Austin and his twin brother, and Anthony Karmelo is just like a sweet little baby angel.
Trying to get back to their cars, or
this is the witness.
Get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah.
He's talking about Karmelo.
Yeah, he's talking about Karmelo. He sounds drunk the fuck. How is this guy? I'm genuinely wondering, and I actually see the account that I guess got in touch with this dude. I love this account. I actually had to mute it because they have been all over. Anybody that posts about the Anthony Karmelo situation and they are against Anthony Karmelo, this dude will jump all into it. And I'm going to be clear, there probably are some really racist people talking about this situation. The problem is he's brazenly ignored all of the overt racist shit that's come out from the Karmelo Anthony side against Austin Metcalf, including trying to proclaim that he was a white supremacist, including trying to proclaim that he was on drugs at the time, including this whole fantasy story that this idiot is now promoting, in which actually, in spite of what Karmelo Anthony said to the police, he was being jumped and attacked by two brothers. These people are actually fucking evil. They know they're lying. They don't care. And here's the problem. In spite of all of this, they're going to convince a bunch of people that are already convinced that that the entire government and the police and everybody are out to get them, that when Karmelo Anthony goes to prison, because he will go to prison, these same people are then going to turn around and say, see, I told you. The only reason why is because the racist white people. He was innocent. I showed. These people are just straight up fucking evil. And they know it's not self-defense. They know Karmelo Anthony didn't commit didn't act in self-defense, which is why they've come up with this bullshit story about how he was being jumped, actually.
I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it, because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent.
He's talking about the twins.
Over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone, just trying to get dry.
Karmelo was on his phone.
They went from another. They grabbed this man.
Grabbed him.
And they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in
Yep.
there, and what they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Again, this story is a little bit similar to one of the people who claimed to be a family member of Karmelo Anthony, in which he claimed that the two brothers were bullies, how they had been antagonizing Anthony repeatedly. Like, this is something that they'd been like regularly bullying him, and they walk up to him when he's on his phone, they take his phone, they smash it on the ground, and then they start punching and beating him up because they're mean, evil bullies. And that's why that's actually why Karmelo Anthony had the knife. He had the knife there to protect himself from these evil bullies. That's the story that came out like the very next day from someone proclaiming to be a family member of Karmelo Anthony. Well, we now know that that's not true. And now this guy comes out and says, well, I was present in the area at the time, but I saw everything. And the 28 eyewitnesses are lying. What actually happened was these boys just walked right up to Karmelo and they start punching him. I understand that there is a group of people who are desperate, and I mean absolutely desperate, to believe that Karmelo Anthony did nothing wrong. But I think that group is actually really small. I think there's a much larger group of people that is involved in the Karmelo Anthony defense side who literally doesn't give a shit. They're quite happy that this dude executed a white guy, and they're pretty much bragging and celebrating it at the exact same time. I've shown you guys tweets and everything. I'm done looking at them myself. I'm sure if what should I make a video of that won't get flagged on YouTube? Like the most racist and deranged statements from the black radicals talking about Austin Metcalf. We do like a top 10 of the most depraved statements, and then by the time we get to like number 8, my video gets taken down because these people are that f***ing unhinged.
Mind you, this man does not know Karmelo.
It was both of them, bro.
Oh, he doesn't know. Sorry, I know I don't want to play the. He doesn't know Karmelo, guys. He doesn't know Karmelo, so he has no reason to lie. And that's a great story, except for the fact that a bunch of people who I assume didn't know Karmelo Anthony personally went out and created a fake autopsy report to claim that Austin Metcalf was drugged up at the time, who created a fake statement from the chief of police to claim that Austin Metcalf had viciously attacked Karmelo Anthony, who created fake social media posts to paint Austin Metcalf as a white supremacist who was hunting black people. I don't think that the individuals who are doing that knew Karmelo Anthony personally. I think they just saw a situation of a black kid who executed a white kid, and they were just all in on it. They did not care about the circumstances. They just wanted to see the kid who killed the white kid walk free, and it's so obvious that's what's been going on. So this idiot, this actual idiot who's posting this girl in this video goes, oh, he didn't even know Karmelo. That lends credence to it. No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. It really doesn't. When I have a whole group of people saying openly how the black community needs to come together, all together now, who are openly mocking and criticizing black people who are like, Karmelo Anthony's clearly a murderer. They're doing all of this stuff. And then you have a random black guy comes out days later after all the fake stories and comes out with one that refutes every single eyewitness, and that's believable to these people. So when Karmelo Anthony winds up going to prison, these idiots are going to start screaming about how there was an eyewitness who proved that he was innocent, and how it's just racist white people. This is just proof that black people can't get justice in America. Actually evil and totally stupid. It is a dangerous combination.
Austin, the dude that's got unalive, and his brother, basically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is
wasn't on school property.
Miles away. It was community track meet, bruh. It wasn't a school track meet.
It wasn't a school track meet. It was a community track meet. Okay. Well, I mean, this guy is the expert here. Okay? This is their expert witness who came out of nowhere, is taking parts of another story that was debunked that came out like a day after. This is insane, okay? At this point, there's no point in talking to these people. There really isn't. There really isn't. They do not care. They want to be lied to. I'm not kidding. If the actual Tyrone Biggins walked up and said, hey, I saw him. Hey, the two brothers, I definitely saw them jump him. These motherfuckers would parade him around as the one true witness, the only one who is telling the truth, and then they'd slip him some crack so he'd keep on f***ing lying. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I wanted you to understand how depraved certain individuals are in regards to this subject, how they brazenly just don't give a shit, how they will believe anyone who parrots any lie that makes Karmelo Anthony not come across as a complete psychopath. And again, and I've already said it multiple times, the net result of this, the net result of them straight up lying to themselves, brazenly lying to themselves in front of everybody, is going to be Karmelo Anthony gets convicted, and these same idiots, these same dumbasses, these same truly depraved and evil people will then turn around and scream that it is proof that a black boy can't get justice in America. These people, seriously, them.